Hey guys, welcome to the Commander Lounge. Today I have a EDH deck tech for you guys, or commander, and it's a Xenagos God of the Revels commander deck, and it is actually kind of like a mutation of a deck I originally created, which was Fight Club, and that was by Bubba Rigmos, the original Bubba Rigmos, and yeah, I just really didn't like him as a commander. Like I like the flavor of it because he looks like a very fighting commander, but a lot of times, a lot of matches, I was only casting him if I had open mana. I want a general that can kind of that has reason to be around. I don't like it to be too crazy broken, but at the same time, even though I think Xenagos is insanely broken, but that's why you play Commander for crazy broken interactions. But anyways, so then I picked Xenagos for it, and then I changed a good bit around with this deck. And I was calling it Xenagos Gotta Fight since he was the new commander for my quote unquote fight club. And then I just started taking fight cards out of it because it didn't feel like it was working right. And then I ended up with this, which I'm just calling this deck Xenagos God of Big Dumb Things. Like that's what I got for you. I still have fight cards in it. I still have stuff like that, but I've definitely I definitely wanted to make this deck more competitive, kind of more you know just work a lot better and more consistent and stuff. So I made a lot of changes. So I'm doing a deck tech on it. So yeah, let's get into it. If you guys don't know who Xenagos is, he is 5 mana with a green and a red involved in the costing. It's a 6/5 indestructible god that, as long as your devotion to red and green is less than 7, he's not a creature. So once he gets past that, he becomes a 6/5 indestructible. And at the most important part of it is at the beginning of your combat on your turn, another target creature you control will get +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the creature's power, and it gives it haste also, which is ridiculous. That's the best part about it. So with this deck, I just decided, I went from a fight club to just trying to put out the biggest power out on the table and just crushing over people, because this isn't the most. I mean, this Xenagos helps it be a little bit more competitive, but really, it kind of gets lost in the control aspect of the game. Usually, people will control you and like keep you from your doing your things with your big dumb creatures. But I originally built this just because I love the color combination. My favorite color combination. It's my favorite kind of play style. And it's also, this is a deck that I've mainly actually lent out to people than played. I think I lent this deck out more than I've played it, because it's a very simple deck, and that's why it's good to build decks that other people can just pick up and play. They don't have to look through the deck. Just be like, dude, it's green red. You got big stuff. Of course, you have ways to draw kill stuff, but it just you draw. You put out big fatties and you Hawk Smash. That's all you need to do. So yeah, let's get into the deck. We run Reliquary Tower as usual. Need to have if you draw crazy or play against a party draw deck, you need it. Temple the False God. You're ramping a lot. This is real easy to activate. Tectonic Edge, getting rid of problem lands. Skark the Rage Pit was originally Arena, which that fight card is terrible because they get to pick who fights with you, which I hate. But with my big dumb things, some of them don't have trample, and they get absolutely absurdly huge. So this helps them get trample. Rogue's Passage. Once again, I got some of them that don't have trample, so it just gets them in unblockable, which is amazing in this deck. Keswick Wolf Run. I mean, this card's just absolute staple if you're playing red and green, playing fatties. Then we go into our fetching. Run Evolving Wilds, Terramorphic Expanse, Naya Panorama. These are my favorite lands. I actually was in a what is that guy, Stibbs, the guy that does Command Tower article on Magic the Gathering on the Wizard site. But he actually put my comment on these lands, how much I love these lands, in one of his articles. So if you're watching, thank you, and I'll put a link to it in the description below if you guys want to read that article. But yeah, Jud Panorama, another fetch. Wooded Foothills, a little expensive, but thankfully Khan's made it a little cheaper, so I can get a hold of one. Gruul Turf, it's pretty good. It's great to have 2 mana in one, but once again, you can get 2 for 1 pretty easily. Some Wastelands, you Strip Mines, you Tech Edge, the usual. Raging Ravine, great man land. Probably one of the best man lands in my eyes, just because it keeps scaling. Rootbound Crag should be always not coming into play tapped. Conclusion Forest usually taps for colorless late game. Stomping Grounds, it's great land. Cinderglade, a new one, and this one should always be in this deck. It should always be shouldn't be a problem coming into play untapped. Reflecting Pool should always be tapping for 2 colors. Command Tower, staple. And we have Forgotten Cave for cycling late game. And then, ooh, got Full Heartlands. It's awesome. I love it that I can get my hands on Full Heartlands. I had to wait this long for it. But we run 8 mountains. Then we run Marswort Bridge because you're playing fat stuff. And what's a good thing about playing fat stuff is getting stuff for free after playing fat stuff. So maybe it's more fat stuff. We'll see. Tranquil Thicket. Once again, cycle late game. And then we run 10 Forest. And then we're going to get into the ramp. We have Soul Ring, staple. Yeah, a lot of people aren't really liking this card anymore. At least in my local store play group, they haven't been seeming to like this too much. I mean, it's insane. Birds of Paradise, just great. Orcish Lumberjack. This card's actually really amazing. Like, you can get some really fast starts because of this guy. He's 1 red for a 1/1. You sacrifice a forest, and you add 3 mana in any color combination of red or green. It's amazing. Or red or red or green. So, yeah. It's really good. Skirr Tribe Elder. Ramp Growth on a Stick, amazing. Cultivate and Kadama's Reach, my 2 favorite ramp cards. Just because they're very good. Summerwald Sage, really good in this deck because I run a ton of creatures and it adds 3 mana of any 1 color. And it's only for creature spells, which that's fine in this deck because I run a ton of creature spells. Explosive Vegetation. I actually do have Sky Shroud Claim, but I think I'm just going to run this instead. Even though I have Cinderglade now and Stomping Grounds. I don't have a Taiga, but Explosive Vegetation does what it needs to do, so it's fine. Garruk Wildspeaker is absolutely amazing. You know, he protects himself, kind of. You know, you basically use him for the ramp. But, I mean, on the second turn, you can overrun everything, which could be really good. Oracle Moldiah, absolute staple in every green deck. Playing additional lands, filtering the top of your deck. Fantastic. Signal of the Clans, I hate tutors, but this one I ran with just because I think it's hilarious. This deck's built pretty consistently, so whenever you are faced with a problem, there's usually always 3 things that no matter what you roll, you get. But it's still fun that you know, it's not exactly what you need sometimes. Sometimes you kind of get what you want, but not exactly what you want, which I think that's what Command is all about, is doing, you know, is having different experiences and not always hitting the same thing over and over again. Crystal Ball, it's just, you know, Scrying 2 is amazing. I love Scrying. It's your budget Sensei's Divine Top, by the way. Dami Raid, once again, it's card advantage. It's a way to fight, it's a way to remove stuff, and that emblem is ridiculous. Drum Hunter is, I love this card. Unfortunately, the one ability, it only triggers at end of your turn, which isn't great, but I mean, it ramps, it draws you cards, it's what you want for more gas. Harmonize, once again, get more gas. This is a staple green card. Same thing with Greater Good, which can take over games. Sacrificing creature, like I got creatures that get to the point where I can actually draw like half my deck, which could be bad in certain situations, but it's just a fantastic card. We have Garruk's Pack Leader, just drawing cards for having big stuff. It makes sense in this deck. Hoarding Dragon. I don't run a ton of artifacts, but all of them are relevant. Do I need Ramp, Soul Ring? Do I need Draw, Crystal Ball? Do I need an oh shit button? Sorry if I cuss. Get Oblivion Stone or Perilous Vault. And do I need, I think there's one more thing that I forgot, but you'll see it as we go. So yeah, Hoarding Dragon answers everything. You got Soul of the Harvest, which is just great. Drop another creature, draw more cards. That's what you need. It should be in every fatty's deck with green. Deadly Recluse. He's not a fatty, but early game he's good to run out. And yeah, I do still have some fight cards, so it kind of automatically removes no matter what. So it trades with big stuff. Nightshade Peddler, absolutely hilarious to soulbond with Inferno Titan. You can start pinging stuff off the table, and it also goes real good with Balefire Dragon. There's some really good combos with Nightshade Peddler. Hull Breach, he's just pay Gruul, And you get to destroy target artifact, destroy target enchantment, or target artifact and enchantment. It's a 2-for-1 and a card. It's amazing. Beast Within, get rid of anything. Green doesn't usually do this. 3/3, that's fine. You can have that. It's really good. Acidic Slime, another staple green card. 2/2 Death Touch is not bad, but being able to destroy target artifact, enchantment, or land when it comes in, it's really good. Bane of Progress, I absolutely love this card because it wipes all artifacts and enchantments, and it gets bigger in the process. You really don't mind. I don't run, a lot of artifacts or enchantments in this deck, so it never hurts me too much, but it definitely is it helps a whole bunch. It's a great card. Woodfall Primus, once again, get rid of target non-creature permanent, and you can do it twice with Persist. And he's a fatty with Trample. It's what you want in this deck. Terracodon, destroying 3 non-creature permanents. It's what you want, and it's on a 9/9 body. And you make a whole bunch of 3/3 elephants. You can do this to yourself if you want to overrun or something, but most of the time you're going to be taking out people's problem permanents. Prey Upon, it's a 1-mana removal spell, so it's in here. I mean, yeah, I originally wanted to build this for Fight Club, but I ended up turning into I just wanted to play big fat things and make the deck more consistent. So, and we have Overmold Tracker, which is another way to fight, which is good. Pit Fight is instant speed fighting, which is amazing. I love the part that it's instant speed. You don't find fight cards that are instant speed unless it's on a body. Soulsfire. This card can actually end games. You make your creature huge. You get them in unblockable, attack somebody, kill them, and then from it being doubled up through Xenagos, you then Soulsfire the other person to the face and just hit all of his power to his face. It's a great card. It may not look like too much. It may look like just removal, but it can end games. Inferno Titan. It's just a great card. 6/6. You can fire breathe him up to double his power, and then maybe get him in unblockable or somehow give him trample and all that stuff. It's a very good card, especially early game. If you come out swinging quick, you can kill some of the smaller creatures that help other strategies out. Warstorm Surge is just amazing because I'm gonna be putting big power out on the table, and it's just good to be able to get rid of creatures or just dim everybody to the face. Also synergizes real well with Genesis Wave. And we have Gruul Rage Beast, which turns everybody into it turns every creature that comes into play into fighters. They just instantly fight somebody when they come in, including Rage Beast. Chandra's Ignition will wipe the board of everybody and just Hulk smash all the opponents in the face. It will kill your creatures, but usually you're fine with that to get rid of everybody else's and keep your one big fatty around. Steel Hellkite, 6-drop artifact flying 5/5 is fine for an artifact, but you can also it absolutely destroy tokens, but it destroys permanents with converted mana cost X whose controllers was dealt combat damage. So it's very specific, but with tokens it's a wipe. Same thing with Crater Hellions, another way to wipe away tokens. Balefire Dragon, just another way to wipe the board. Especially with making Xenagos, make him at 12/12. It deals 12 damage to all the creatures. That's usually a board wipe. It's against that controller though. And we have Oblivion Stone. It's the oh shit button. Perilous Vault, same thing, except exile. Sometimes it's better. And then we have another new addition, which is Malignus, which his power and toughness are equal to half the highest life total among your opponents rounded up, and damage cannot be prevented. So he gets huge. In the beginning of a game, you get him out real quick, no one's hurt. He's a 20/20, and Xenagos makes him a 40/40, which is ridiculous. This is a card where you need to give him trample or unblockability to get in there. And we have Rampaging Baloths, which is a nice way to go wide. And he's a 6/6 trampler, which doesn't hurt either. He's just a great card. Garruk's Horde, 7/7 trample. He filters the top of your library, but he gives you more card advantage. You can cast big creatures off the top. Stalking Vengeance is another one that goes good with Greater Good and whatchamacallit. If you go wide with a bunch of fatties and you're afraid of a Wrath coming, you just slam this down and go for it. You're just gonna get hit a whole bunch in the face if you Wrath this board right now. And we got Hamlet Back Goliath, which is just another fatty. He's one that takes a little bit of time. He's not like Malignus, but he'll get huge if unanswered. And Giant Adophage. He's kind of a way to kind of take over the game by itself. You don't answer this guy, he will just keep copying himself over and over again. And it exponentially gets crazier, you know? Nice Soul Beast. This is one that I just felt like, I just really wanted to try to see how big he can get. So far, I've gotten him to, it's either 16-16 or 18-18. I got it on MTGO. But I think I can get him bigger. We'll see how big he can get. Got Up Vera Hellkite. Go wide with Dargans. It's always a good thing. This guy, once again, he's another one that can take over a game by himself if unanswered. Spore Frog. Probably my favorite green card. It's Spore Frog. It's amazing. It's Fog on a Stick. Yeah, people see it coming, and most of the time it's a good thing that they know that it's coming, because then they just won't even attack you. They're like, what's the point? He's got a frog. So then you can just sit back and kind of try to get your strategy going. And then we have Nylea, God of the Hunt. With all the fatties that I included, with no trample or no evasion, I knew I needed a way to give him trample, and Nylea's the way to do that. I mean, it's also great that she can be 6/6 indestructible body, and also it's fantastic that you can pump up the other creature before Xenagos doubles the amount of power. You know, it really synergizes real well with this deck. And we have Zealous Conscript, not a fatty, but it is a pet card of mine, so it's in here. Not trying to do anything, you know, rude or anything like Go Infinite or stuff. Unless it's somebody else's Kiki Jiki, then it's your fault for playing Kiki Jiki, I guess. But I really love it. It's like a toolbox creature because it can just grab anything. It can ultimate someone's planeswalker, take something important, sack it. You know, you can just do all kinds of stuff with her. And then we have Wormcoil Engine, which is just a nice way of gaining life back. I mean, he's pretty big and everything, but mainly it's for the life gain that he's in here. He's ridiculous. He's broken. He's a fantastic card. Kalaka Worm's another way to gain life. You could actually do some crazy stuff with this in Feldon. Feldon will make this card go crazy if it's in your graveyard. You'll just keep gaining life every turn and drawing a card when it sacks. So that's really good. Scavenging Ooze is graveyard hate and life gain, which helps. And he can get pretty big. Loaming Shaman, he just gets rid of graveyards. He shuffles them into their libraries. I think he's an underrated card. Not many people play it, but it's great. You know, a lot of people would rather play like Relic of Progenitus or I guess Tormod's Crypt. But this is a nice green way if you need a green card to do it. And it's a creature, which helps me out. Eternal Witness is just great to have regrowth on a stick. It's a staple. Feldon, he is a reanimator. He reanimates your creatures from your graveyard for a turn. Sacrifices at the end, and it's an artifact. The thing that's the craziest about it is that you put a token that's a copy of it on the from the graveyard onto the battlefield. So it stays in the graveyard, so you can just do it every single turn. You can do it. Feldon is ridiculous. He is an amazing card. He goes in most of my red decks. He replaced Kiki Jiki in my Prosh deck. That says something. Like, he's really good. Even though he doesn't go instantly, late game he is fantastic. And then we have Overwhelming Stampede for when we go wide. Nobody wraths the board. I just try to end it quickly. This is the way I kind of end it quickly, is with Overwhelming Stampede. Haven't done it yet, but it could happen. And we have Genesis Wave for the last card. It's just kind of an alternate way to get back in and win after, you know, like a Wrath or something like that. Late game when they think they have total control, Genesis Wave sometimes says no to that. So yeah, that is my my Xenagos God of Big Dumb Things. So let me know what you guys think about this deck tech. Let me know what you guys think about this video. I will have a link to the deck list in the description below. Like, favorite, and subscribe. And yeah, you guys take it easy. Bobble bobble.